Hello everyone, welcome back. In this particular video, we will be discussing or you can say analyze the syllabus of plant protection, that is entomology and pathology, and we'll see what is the weightage allocated to this particular part of agriculture, and I'll give you some tips how to deal with this particular part, because for most of the students remembering scientific names and memorizing them will be it is quite difficult. So most of the students find it difficult to memorize most of the diseases and their scientific names, and particularly I have combined both entomology and pathology in this video, because there are questions which cannot be categorized into entomology or pathology. Okay, so there are questions on plant quarantine, there are questions on pesticides which cannot be classified as either under entomology or pathology. So for that reason I have combined both of them. Okay, so under plant protection, if you see the weightage allocated to plant protection in civil services mains examination, so you can see the allocation of marks in 2019. Around 45 marks were given, and 2018 30 marks, 17 40 marks, in 2016 72.5 marks, and 2015 60 marks. Before the pattern changed, before the mains examination pattern changed, the weightage was higher, like in 2012 it was 135, in 2011 it was 105, but after the pattern changed, the weightage fluctuates between 40 to 50 marks. Okay, so you will not be getting for more than 50 marks. You will not have questions from entomology and pathology for more than 50 marks. So around 50 marks weightage is allocated for plant protection. So now we will move on to the syllabus. So if you see the syllabus, and there is slight variation in the syllabus of UPSC mains examination and Indian Forest Service examination syllabus. So diagnosis of pests and disease of field crops, there is no separation of entomology and pathology syllabus. Okay, both entomology and pathology is given in the same paragraph, okay, under plant protection. So even the sentences contain the syllabus. You can see within the same sentence you have syllabus of both entomology and pathology. Diagnosis of pests and diseases of field crops, vegetables, orchard and plantation crops and their economic importance. Classification of pests and diseases and their management. Integrated pest and disease management. Now storage, pest and their management. Now this particular part, it can be categorized under plant protection, but I see this part as syllabus of seed science. Okay, storage, grain pest and their management comes under seed science. Okay, so that is why I have colored it in a different color. Okay, so seed science, this is the part of seed science where we will deal with storage and grain pest, grain pest. Then biological control of pests and diseases, epidemiology and forecasting of major crop pests and diseases, plant quarantine measures, pesticides, their formulation and mode of action, and we have compatibility with rhizobial inoculants, microbial toxins. So this part is specifically mentioned in Indian Forest Service syllabus. So this part is not in UPSC mains syllabus. So this is not mentioned in UPSC mains. This is only for Indian Forest Service syllabus. Okay, microbial toxins and compatibility with rhizobial inoculants. This part is of seed science. Okay, so in our classroom course and in online course, this part will be dealt in seed science syllabus. Right, so that was about the syllabus. Because there is no differentiation between entomology and pathology, even in this video we will be the main reason why I combined these two are because of this particular part. Okay, so plant quarantine, pesticides, their formulations and mode of action, it is very difficult to categorize this particular part into either entomology or pathology. Okay, so these are from general plant protection and they carry a significant weightage. Okay, so that is why I did not make separate videos for entomology and pathology. I combined both of them under one topic, which is plant protection. Now, how to deal with this particular part, because you will at least get a question where they will ask you they will ask you about management of a particular disease of a crop. Okay, like for example Sigatoka disease in banana. Okay, they will ask you to write the management of Sigatoka disease in banana. Now you will get at least one question about a disease or a pest from a particular crop, or sometimes like in 2016 or 17 I guess they gave a question about mango. Okay, for 20 marks the question, they asked about write about pests and diseases of 4 pests and 4 diseases of mango and their management for 20 marks. So both entomology and pathology part was covered under a single question. So they asked about mango pests and mango diseases. Okay, so sometimes you will get a combined question, or sometimes they will ask you about individual disease and their management, or individual pests and their management. Okay, so you might get 1 or 2 questions about individual pest or disease. Then there is general entomology and general pathology part. Okay, like physical control, cultural method of pest control, biological control methods, or integrated disease management, integrated pest management. Okay, pest resistance. Okay, pest resurgence, or about pesticides, pesticide formulations, pesticide calculations. So there is general entomology and general pathology part. Okay, gene for gene hypothesis. Okay, phytoalexins, short notes on phytoalexins. So there is general pathology part and general entomology part, apart from individual pests and diseases. So you need not be afraid of entomology and pathology, because this particular part where they ask about individual pests and disease, it has very little weightage. It might come for 10 marks or for maximum 20 marks, not more than that. Okay, in a particular year you will get a weightage of 10 to 15 marks, or maximum it can go up to 20 marks, not more than that. Rest of the syllabus, rest of the questions will be from general entomology and general pathology. So don't be afraid of entomology and pathology. Just cover important crops regarding the individual pests and diseases. So there are some tips, okay, which I will be sharing with you about how to deal with the entomology and pathology syllabus. Okay, so if you see the questions from previous years, most of the questions are about those pests which are either economically important or either historically important. Okay, so first tip is focus on historically important pests and diseases, like late blight of potato, which caused Irish famine. Sigatoka disease of banana, which has been asked previously. So it caused an epidemic in the Sigatoka plains in Fiji Islands. So they have historical importance. Bengal famine. Okay. Then we have banana bunchy top. So it was introduced into India from Sri Lanka through cyclone. So historical importance. Okay. Or those diseases which entered into India, or those pests and diseases which entered into India before DIPA, Destructive Insect and Pest Act 1914, Destructive Insect and Pest Act, वो लेजिस्लेशन पास होने के पहले इंडिया में इंट्रोड्यूस हो चुके थे वो. ओके, सो दोज पेस्ट विच हैव एंटर्ड इनटू इंडिया बिफोर 1914 एक्ट वाज पास्ड. सो फर्स्ट बैक्टीरियल डिजीज to be discovered in plants. First bacterial disease to be discovered in plants in India. So there are many diseases which have historical importance. Okay, downy mildew of grapes, which led to the discovery of Bordeaux mixture. So there are many diseases which have historical importance. So focus on them, जहाँ पर जिनका historical importance है. Okay, then focus on economically important diseases. Now, economically important diseases, when I say this, I mean about economically important crops. Okay, so economically important disease means those diseases which occur in economically important crops, and those diseases which causes more than 90% damage. जो 90% से ज़्यादा डैमेज करते हैं, एक अप्रॉक्सीमेट फिगर है ये, यू कैन से 80% से ज़्यादा डैमेज करते हैं, विच कैन डिस्ट्रॉय द क्रॉप. सो दोज डिजीजेस विच कैन डिस्ट्रॉय द क्रॉप्स एंड यू वोंट गेट एनी इकोनॉमिकल यील्ड. सो इकोनॉमिकली इंपॉर्टेंट डिजीजेस मीन्स जो तुम्हारे मोस्ट इकोनॉमिकली इंपॉर्टेंट क्रॉप्स है. सो अगर तुम हॉर्टिकल्चरल क्रॉप्स, इफ यू सी, यू हैव मैंगो, सिट्रस, बनाना, एप्पल, यू कैन इंक्लूड इन papaya, okay, grapes. Then in vegetables, potato, tomato, brinjal, okay, onion. If you go to field crops, rice, wheat, sugarcane, cotton. So there are many economically important crops. So diseases, important diseases of those crops, and for rest of the crops, those diseases which cause more than 90% of the damage, those are economically important diseases. Okay, then focus on important pests and diseases with respect to quarantine. That means those diseases which entered into India before 1914 Act was passed. Okay, apple woolly aphid. So even एप्पल के ही 3 पेस्ट है. ओके, सैंजो स्केल, देन यू हैव कॉटन कुशनी स्केल, एप्पल वूली एफिड. ऑल द 3 पेस्ट एंटर्ड इनटू इंडिया बिफोर 1914 एक्ट वाज पास्ड. बनाना बंची टॉप, which was introduced into India through Sri Lanka, from Sri Lanka through cyclone. Then we have internal quarantine for particular diseases. जैसे बनाना बंची टॉप के लिए we have internal quarantine. That means you cannot move banana planting material from one part to another part within India. Then you have internal quarantine for golden cyst nematode. Then you have internal quarantine for potato wart disease. So internal quarantine and external quarantine के respect से भी जो diseases हैं, they are also important. So those diseases which are important with respect to quarantine. Then prepare points which are applicable to majority of pests and disease. Now, while writing the management of diseases, there are several common points. Like for example, in all bacterial diseases, there are few points like application of antibiotics. Okay, though it is costly, but streptocycline they can be mentioned. Then in case of fungal diseases, clean cultivation. Okay, optimum spacing should be allowed. In case of viral diseases, vector control. So there are common points in bacterial diseases, there are common points in fungal diseases. Fungal disease may be, again there are common points in diseases which are caused by lower fungi and which are caused by higher fungi. So you cannot write about primary infection and secondary infection. Most of the people get confused and they will write about they will write in lower, in case of lower fungus, they will write that secondary infection is through windborne conidia. So conidia are not found in lower fungi, conidia are found in higher fungi. Conidia are produced by higher fungi. So higher fungi वाले disease and lower fungi वाले disease में difference पता होना चाहिए, कौन से disease lower fungi cause करता है और कौन सा higher fungi cause करता है. So these are some points which are important to be noticed. And while preparing the management of pests and diseases, it is very important to prepare at least 3 or 4 points which are common in viral diseases or bacterial diseases or fungal diseases, because while writing the examination you have to write the management of a pest in a particular sequence. Like first you have to write about cultural methods, then mechanical methods, then biological. If that particular pest has any biological control agent, you have to mention it. Okay, अगर उसका कोई biological control agent है तो तुमको mention करना ही पड़ेगा, otherwise marks will be deducted. Then there will be few generic pesticides which can be applied. Okay, remember 4 or 5 pesticides which can be written commonly under those diseases. So at least you have to write 4 or 5 points under management. Okay, symptoms mein you will have to write at least 2 to 3 points, and you have to give the scientific name. Most important point, without writing scientific name, do not attempt the question. If you don't remember the scientific name, do not attempt the question. At least 30% marks तुम्हारा कट जाएगा वहाँ पर. Even if you attempt, even if you write the symptoms and everything, out of 10 you will get only 4 or 5 marks if you don't write the scientific name. So if you don't remember the scientific name, do not attempt the question. If it is asked under first question or fifth question, then you don't have any choice. तुमको scientific name याद हो नहीं हो, you have to write it. Otherwise, if you have a choice, then if you don't remember the scientific name, do not attempt the question. Okay. Then be thorough in general principles of pest and disease management. So other than the management of pests and diseases, cover the rest of the syllabus thoroughly. Okay, general entomology and general pathology, you should be thorough with it. अगर तुमको पेस्ट का साइंटिफिक नेम नहीं भी पता है, if you miss that particular question or if you skip that particular question, at least you should be thorough with rest of the syllabus, general entomology and general pathology. Then do not attempt the question if you don't remember the scientific name of the insect, pest or the causal agent of the disease. So these are few tips which you can take while preparing for the entomology and pathology, while going through entomology and pathology. So इन चीज़ों को याद रखना. Okay, and focus, because you cannot remember all the diseases. It is very difficult for even for agricultural graduates. They find it difficult to remember all the scientific names. There is no shortcut. Okay, you have to repeatedly try to say those scientific names, and you have to pronounce it correctly so that you can spell it right. Okay, writing the scientific name with wrong spelling will also be considered wrong. So scientific name with wrong spelling will be considered incorrect. So you cannot misspell it. Okay, so pronunciation of the scientific names, you should be thorough with it so that you can write it or you can spell it correctly. Okay, so prepare a chart. Okay, so pests of mango, 4 or 5 important pests of mango, their scientific names. Pests of banana, their scientific names. Pests of citrus, like this, at least for at least 6 or 7 fruit crops, 6 or 7 vegetable crops. Paste it near your bed and try to remember them every day. Okay, and pronounce it correctly so that you can spell it correctly in the examination. And focus more on horticultural pests and diseases, because from last 4 or 5 years they are focusing more on horticultural pests. So horticulture पे ज़्यादा concentrate करो rather than field crops. Okay. Then coming to previous questions from entomology part. What do you mean by integrated pest management? Discuss constraints in successful implementation of integrated pest management. Obviously, major constraint is it is slow. Okay. So integrated pest management is where you will use different types of measures: physical, mechanical, cultural, okay, biological and chemical control. All of them are used. It is integration of all the different methods to manage the pest below economic threshold level. So whenever you are writing about integrated pest management, you have to you have to mention in the examination about economic threshold level and economic injury level with a diagram. You have to definitely mention that. So without EIL and ETL, your answer will be incomplete. Then you have to mention what is the importance of ETL and EIL. Then you have to explain the different kinds of methods which are used with examples, obviously. Then compare inoculative and augmentative release of natural enemies for biological control of pests. You have to explain what is augmentative release and what is inoculative release. Okay, then what are the concepts of ETL and EIL and why they are important in integrated pest management? Okay, mainly the theme which you have to follow here is that complete elimination of pest is not required. Okay, it is not required and it is neither possible भी नहीं है. You cannot eliminate the pest completely and it is not required also. If you have one or two pests, let them be. Okay, you don't have to go for chemical spray even if you see a single pest. Okay, because it will disturb the ecological balance if you completely eliminate a particular strata in the pyramid. So एक दो पेस्ट तुमको दिखता है, let them be. You have to go for chemical sprays only if they are crossing the economic threshold level. So complete elimination of pests is not required. Okay, and it is not possible also. So उस theme पे तुमको आंसर ये लिखना पड़ेगा. Then ionizing radiation in insect control. So the experiment conducted by Knipling that can be given where वो screw worm fly. Okay, screw worm fly पे experiment जो किया था, cobalt 60 से ionizing radiations he used, gamma radiations from cobalt 60 to make the males sterile, and he released the male insects into the environment, and those sterile male insects, when they copulated with the female insects, it did not give rise to next generation. So you can reduce the population by male sterile technique using gamma radiation. So वो जो ionizing radiation in insect control, so in this answer you have to give the example of screw worm fly and the experiment of Knipling and constraints and advantages. क्या क्या इसके disadvantages है, क्या advantages है, वो तुम इसमें mention कर सकते हो. Then predator and parasite difference है, short notes आया था. The question was given like this: predator and parasite for 12.5 marks. So you have to write in the form of difference. That would be more efficient. Then what is a pheromone trap? Discuss its use in pest management. So use of pheromones, okay, to manage the pest. So it can be done in many ways. So you can pheromone traps can be used to know the number or the density of the pest. So you can use them in the fields in the form of pheromone traps, and you can check the population of the insect, and you can determine when to go for pesticide spray, or you can use it for mating disruption. Okay, or you can use it for mass trapping. You can use it for mass trapping also. Pheromone traps can be used for trapping the adult insects, or mating disruption, or for knowing the population density, and based on that you can decide when to go for chemical sprays. Okay, list the major insect pests of citrus. Write in detail about citrus scilla, citrus psyllid, Diaphorina citri. उसका management लिखने के लिए बोला है. So just you have to write the scientific names of 3 or 4 main pests and management of citrus psyllid. Then what is juvenile hormone and role in pest management? So ecdysone and juvenile hormone, how they control the metamorphosis in insect, and how juvenile hormone can be used in management of the pest population. Then how does phytophagous insect select their host? Explain the role of plant chemicals in host selection. सो ट्राइट्रॉफिक इंटरेक्शन, वो उस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक में तुमको इसका आंसर मिल जाएगा. देन व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ एंटमोजेनस वायरसेस डिस्क्राइब्ड इन ब्रीफ. NPV, nuclear polyhedrosis virus, and its merits and demerits in pest management. So granulosis virus and nuclear polyhedrosis virus, they can be used in management of pests because they do not infect vertebrates. So invertebrates में वो disease cause करते हैं, so they can be used for pest control. So tree top disease or tree top symptom जो है तुम्हारा, insects when they are infected with NPV, they go to the tree and hang downwards. Hang upside down. Okay, so tree top disease, tree top symptom बोलते हैं उसको. Then control management of woolly aphid in apple woolly aphid. So it is historically important. Okay, ये historically important है because it was introduced into India before the 1914 DIPA Act, Destructive Insect and Pest Act. वो एक्ट पास होने से पहले ये इंडिया में इंट्रोड्यूस हो गया था. सो इट हैज हिस्टोरिकल इंपॉर्टेंस. देन क्वेश्चंस रिगार्डिंग पेस्टिसाइड्स. ओके, सो ये वाला पार्ट जो है, दिस इज अबाउट पेस्टिसाइड्स. मेनली इट कम्स अंडर एंटोमोलॉजी, बट देर आर न्यूट्रल क्वेश्चंस which can be a part of pathology. That is the reason why I have made a single video about plant protection. So what is pesticide formulation? Okay, differentiate active ingredient from inert ingredient. Give at least 2 examples of each of active and inert ingredient. So active ingredient में तुम toxin के नाम लिख सकते हो. It can be anything. Carbofuran लिख दो, carbosulfan लिख दो, anything. Okay. Then inert ingredient में carrier material जो है, so solid formulation का clay based dust है, granules है. It is clay based, and in case of EC or SC, emulsifiable concentrate है या soluble concentrate है, then you have liquid based formulations. So what are the causes of pest outbreak? Discuss the role of pesticide in pest resurgence. Now pest resurgence is an important topic, okay, where the population of the pest increases significantly in the absence of biological control agents. Okay, so whenever you spray insecticide, it kills both your insect pests and as well as biological control agents which feed on those insects. So in the ecological pyramid, the population of biological control agents, they are less in number. So when you spray insecticide, the population of both insect pest and biological control agent both is reduced. Okay, but the insect population, they because they are large in number and they have higher fecundity, they can increase their population rapidly. Okay, whereas in case of biological control agents, their population increases slowly because availability of food is also another point of consideration. Because until the insect population increases to significant level, biological agents, they don't get enough food for their population to increase. So by the time their population slowly increases, the farmer will go for another spray of pesticides. So it will significantly reduce the population of biological agents and the insect population will rise tremendously. So raise in the population many folds. In the insect population, insect pest population increases in many folds after the application of pesticide or insecticide, that is pest resurgence. So what is pesticide resistance? Differentiate between simple and multiple resistance in insect pest with examples. Prescribe the measures to overcome pesticide resistance problems. Obviously go for mixtures or rotate with different mode of action pesticides. वो सारा इंसेक्ट पेस्ट रेसिस्टेंस वाले टॉपिक में कवर हो जाता है. देन माइक्रोबियल पेस्टिसाइड्स एंड देयर यूज इन एग्रीकल्चर. सो बायोलॉजिकल कंट्रोल, so it is a part of biological control method. So in that you have viruses, bacteria. BT is an example. Viruses, bacteria, fungus, okay, which can be used for insect pest management. Even the nematodes can be used. Okay, then pesticide residual toxicity in fruits and vegetables. So in this particular topic, again you have to mention maximum residue limit, waiting period about pesticides and Codex Alimentarius Commission. Okay, जो MRL fix करता है, Codex Alimentarius Commission, MRL and waiting period of pesticides, and give example like monocrotophos was banned in vegetables because of its longer waiting period. वो examples तुम specifically दे सकते हो to make your answer more attractive. Okay. Then calculation part. So till now, last 10 years में UPSC mains में calculations on pesticide calculation there has been no question. कोई भी क्वेश्चन नहीं आया पिछले 10 साल में. उससे पहले मैंने देखा नहीं क्वेश्चन पेपर. सो पिछले 10 साल में तो अभी तक देयर हैज बीन नो क्वेश्चन इन द लास्ट 10 years फ्रॉम कैलकुलेशन पार्ट, पेस्टिसाइड कैलकुलेशन. बट इन इंडियन फॉरेस्ट सर्विस दिस वाज आस्क्ड इन 2017. ओके, सो देयर हैज बीन नो क्वेश्चन इन यूपीएससी मेंस, बट देयर वाज अ क्वेश्चन इन 2017 इन इंडियन फॉरेस्ट सर्विस. सो लेट अस सी द क्वेश्चन. फाइंड आउट द quantity of chlorpyrifos 20 EC emulsifiable concentrate. Now this 20 means percentage. Okay, 20% active ingredient है. That means in 1 liter you have around 200 grams of active ingredient. So 20%. Okay. For treating an area which requires 1000 liters of spray fluid at 0.02% strength. Okay. 10 marks. So if you know the question within half minute or within 30 seconds your question is over. अगर तुमको पता है तो बहुत जल्दी हो जाएगा. If you know the formula then it is very easy. Okay, so amount of pesticide. Okay, amount of pesticide is equal to volume of spray. तो कितना वॉल्यूम स्प्रे चाहिए तुमको यहाँ लिखा है, which requires 1000 liters of spray. Volume of spray okay into strength of pesticide solution to be sprayed. कितना परसेंटेज में चाहिए, स्ट्रेंथ कितना है 0.02%. ओके, एंड स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ एक्टिव इंग्रेडिएंट पर लीटर. एक्टिव इंग्रेडिएंट इज टॉक्सिक. कितना है 20%. परसेंटेज स्ट्रेंथ 20% है. सो हियर यू हैव 1000 से मल्टीप्लाई करो इसको. ओके, कितना मिलेगा इसको 1 2, इसको कैंसिल कर दो पहले. सो यू विल गेट 2. 100 बचा ना, 0 0 कैंसिल होगा. 100 इंटू 0.02 इज 2. 2/2 इज इक्वल टू 1 liter. So 1 liter chlorpyrifos pesticide, quantity of chlorpyrifos 20 EC. So 20 EC वाला जो chlorpyrifos है, you require 1 liter. 1 लीटर चाहिए तुमको 20 EC का chlorpyrifos. 1 liter of that particular pesticide is required according to the question. So simple है. If you know the formula then it is very easy. Otherwise also अगर तुमको फॉर्मूला याद नहीं है then there is another method to solve this. For that you need to know how ppm solutions are made and how to convert from ppm to percentage strength. Okay, so to prepare ppm solution, 1 milligram of any substance if you dissolve in 1 ml of solution it will give you 1000 ppm. ये याद रख लो, रिमेंबर दिस. 1 milligram of any substance when you dissolve in 1 ml it will give you 1000 ppm. So to prepare 1000 ppm solution, strength solution, this is the amount you have to dissolve in 1 ml of solution. So you can prepare different strengths of solution. अगर इसको suppose 1 milligram इन 10 ml करता हूं, दैट मीन्स डाइल्यूट कर दिया मैंने, 10 टाइम्स डाइल्यूट कर दिया. ऑब्वियसली ये भी 10 टाइम्स डाइल्यूट हो जाएगा. सो 1000 ppm से 100 ppm बन गया, राइट. सो 1 milligram in 1 ml is 1000 ppm. 1 milligram in 10 ml डाइल्यूट कर दिया ना, 10 टाइम्स ज्यादा पानी डाल दिया या सोल्यूशन जो हमारा जो भी सॉल्वेंट है 10 ml में डाला तो ये भी डाइल्यूट हो गया 10 टाइम्स, इट विल बिकम 100 ppm. Okay, so this is how you prepare ppm solutions. Then there is another thing where you have to convert ppm into percentage. So 1% solution means 10,000 ppm. So अगर ये दोनों चीज तुमको पता है तो you can calculate it otherwise also without having the formula. So 1% is equal to 10,000 ppm. Right? So 10,000 ppm है. So यहाँ पर कितना दिया है? 0.02% है. तो 1% 10,000 ppm है. So 0.02% कितना होगा? 200 ppm. Okay, so you have to prepare 200 ppm strength. ये परसेंटेज को हमने ppm में कन्वर्ट कर लिया, तो 200 ppm हमको सॉल्यूशन बनाना है. ओके, सो 1 milligram in 1 ml is equal to 1000 ppm, right? So 1 milligram in 10 ml 100 ppm बन गया. ओके, डाइल्यूट कर दिया तुमने. अगर मुझे 100 से 200 करना है तो इसको हाफ करना पड़ेगा. ओके, सो 1 milligram in 5 ml is equal to 200 ppm. सो बन गया. अभी we got the equation. ओके, सो 1 milligram in 5 ml gives you 200 ppm. अब क्या है, तुमको कितना चाहिए सॉल्यूशन? 1000 लीटर्स चाहिए. अब बस ये 5 ml को 1000 लीटर बनाना है तुमको. यू हैव टू मेक दिस 5 ml into 1000 लीटर, राइट? सो प्रोपोर्शनेटली ये भी इंक्रीज होता रहेगा. सो मल्टीप्लाई विथ इसको 1000 से मल्टीप्लाई करो. सो इट विल बिकम 1000 से 5 ml को 1000 से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो 5 लीटर. ओके, सो 1000 से मल्टीप्लाई करो तो इसको 1 ग्राम है ना. मिलीग्राम को 1000 से मल्टीप्लाई करो तो 1 ग्राम बन गया. तो 5 लीटर में 1 ग्राम डालोगे तो 200 ppm मिलेगा तुमको. मल्टीप्लाई विथ 1000 दोनों को, तो 5 लीटर्स 1 ग्राम. अभी इसको कितना बनाना है तुमको? 1000 लीटर्स बनाना है. तो 5 इंटू 200 करोगे तो 1000 मिल जाएगा, राइट? 5 इंटू 200 200 से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो यू गेट 1000 लीटर्स. 5 लीटर इंटू 200, तो 1 ग्राम इंटू 200 ग्राम्स. सो 200 ग्राम्स 1000 लीटर्स में डालोगे तो यू विल गेट 200 ppm. मिल गया तुमको. सो 200 ग्राम्स एक्टिव इंग्रेडिएंट चाहिए, पेस्टिसाइड नहीं, एक्टिव इंग्रेडिएंट. दिस इज द अमाउंट ऑफ एक्टिव इंग्रेडिएंट. ओके, 200 ग्राम्स एक्टिव इंग्रेडिएंट. तो यहां पर कितना है स्ट्रेंथ? 20 EC, यानी 1 लीटर में 200 ग्राम्स एक्टिव इंग्रेडिएंट है. दैट इज 20%, राइट? 20% EC. सो 200 ग्राम्स तुमको चाहिए. 200 ग्राम्स कितने हैं यहां पर दिया हुआ? 1 लीटर में 200 grams is present in 1 liter. So 1 liter of chlorpyrifos is required. So यहाँ पर भी 1 लीटर मिल गया तुमको जो फॉर्मूला में डायरेक्टली. इफ यू नो द फॉर्मूला डायरेक्टली यू कैन सॉल्व इट. अदरवाइज थोड़ा इनडायरेक्ट वे में जाना पड़ेगा, बट मिल जाएगा आंसर तुमको. 2 मिनट लग जाएंगे लेकिन आंसर मिल जाएगा. सो फॉर दैट यू नीड टू नो हाउ टू मेक ppm solution. So 1 milligram in 1 ml gives you 1000 ppm. Okay, so this is how you prepare ppm solutions, and 1% strength is equal to 10,000 ppm. So ppm से परसेंटेज में कन्वर्ट करना है या फिर परसेंटेज से ppm में कन्वर्ट करना है, तो दिस इज द फॉर्मूला. So that is about the calculation. So till now in UPSC mains they have not asked about the any question on calculation part, but in Indian Forest Service 2017 में क्वेश्चन आया था. Then coming to pathology, so what is plant disease epidemic? Why do disease epidemics occur? Environment ज़्यादा favorable होता है, तो for this you need to learn about classification of diseases and disease triangle. If you know these two topics, then you can write the answer. So horizontal disease resistance is preferable to vertical disease resistance. So vertical resistance and हॉरिजॉन्टल रेजिस्टेंस, जो तुम्हारा प्लांट जेनेटिक रेजिस्टेंस है उसके अंदर दो टाइप के हैं. हॉरिजॉन्टल रेजिस्टेंस इज वेयर इट इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय मेनी जीन्स. वर्टिकल रेजिस्टेंस इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय वन जीन और फ्यू जीन्स. ओके, वर्टिकल रेजिस्टेंस इज शॉर्ट लिव्ड whereas horizontal resistance is long lived. So vertifolia effect जो है that was because of breakdown of vertical resistance. तो एग्जाम्पल के साथ तुम एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो. अगेन horizontal and vertical resistance you can write it in the form of differences or short notes. So दो बार आया है 12.5. Discuss plant disease occurrence, epidemics and integrated disease management. Again for 12.5 marks. Phytoalexins. So these are the chemicals which help in defense against the fungus or bacterial pathogens. So plant के अंदर जो है, plants do not have immune system, they have chemicals. Okay, so they have alkaloids, terpenoids, okay, different group of chemicals which help them fight the pathogens. So phytoalexins. Short notes on phytoalexins. Then we have gene for gene hypothesis or floor hypothesis. So genetic resistance, how genes control the resistance in plants. So for that floor hypothesis, so Melopsera linni, okay, rust of floor. He gave the hypothesis, gene for gene hypothesis, while studying Melopsera linni. So they can ask you about floor hypothesis or they can ask you about gene for gene hypothesis. Okay, so flax rust. So flax is a crop which gives you fiber. So flax rust में Melopsera linni, which is caused by Melopsera linni, उसके अंदर स्टडी करते हुए he gave the gene for gene hypothesis or floor hypothesis. Here you have to draw the table also for one gene, for two genes, okay, for 3 gene pair, 1 gene pair and 2 gene pair. अलग अलग में कैसा reaction होगा, whether the plant will be susceptible or it will be resistant. So you have to draw the table also. Then satellite viruses. Okay, so these are hyperparasites. Satellite viruses are viruses which depend upon other viruses for multiplication inside the host. Okay, then Neto and Nepo viruses. So these are viruses which infect the nematodes. Okay, then write the principles of biological control of plant pathogens. Describe the recent trend in biological strategies in the field of crop disease management. Write in detail about bacterial disease of crop plants and suitable management practices. So ये देखो, they have not particularly asked about a crop. So whatever bacterial disease you remember, randomly कोई भी हो, तुम्हारा कॉटन में हो या फिर पोटैटो हो, okay. So whatever bacterial disease, 3 or 4, you can write the general management practices, giving the scientific names in particular crops. तो कॉटन में ये वाला डिजीज में ये वाला पैथोजन है, you have पोटैटो में ये वाला पर्टिकुलर बैक्टीरियल डिजीज है, सिट्रस में कैंकर. सो यू हैव टू गिव 4 or 5 एग्जांपल्स विद साइंटिफिक नेम्स एंड जनरल हाउ सेकेंडरी इन्फेक्शन अकर्स, हाउ प्राइमरी इन्फेक्शन अकर्स. ओके, व्हाट इज द कंट्रोल method in case of bacterial disease, what are the precautions which you have to take. Then describe the symptoms and management of leaf curl and mosaic disease in tomato. So specifically they can ask you about particular disease in a particular crop. Give a brief account of major pests and diseases of mango with their management measures. So यहाँ पर entomology, pathology. So इसमें entomology का भी part है and pathology वाला भी है. Major insect pests and diseases combined है, दोनों पूछे हैं. दो I have mentioned it in pathology. इसमें entomology का भी part है. ये 2017 something में पूछा था. Okay, so both 20 marks में you have to write about 2 to 3 pests and 2 to 3 diseases which are important in mango and their management. Vascular wilt and xylem wilt. Write diagnostic symptoms of blister blight of tea. So tea and coffee में कॉफी रस्ट, कॉफी में एक ही डिजीज जो इंपॉर्टेंट है, टी में ब्लिस्टर ब्लाइट. राइट द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ मैंगो malformation in India. What are the causes of different malformations? So vegetative malformation, floral malformation, and how to combat malformation. So this disease is majorly prevalent in northern part. Southern part में ज़्यादा नहीं है, northern part में ज़्यादा है, यूपी उस तरफ. Okay, name the causal agent of Sigatoka disease of banana. Enumerate the diagnostic symptom of disease. Suggest remedial measure to control. Again, historically important disease है. ये economically important क्योंकि मैंगो इंडिया का नेशनल फ्रूट है और economically important है बहुत ज़्यादा. एक्सपोर्ट भी हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा करते हैं. सो इकोनॉमिकली इंपॉर्टेंट डिजीज है. ओके, टी में, टी इज ऑल्सो इकोनॉमिकली इंपॉर्टेंट क्रॉप. प्लांटेशन क्रॉप्स में टी, कॉफी, कोकोनट, ये तीन ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो कॉफी में एक ही डिजीज है कॉफी रस्ट, टी में एक ही डिजीज जो इंपॉर्टेंट है ब्लिस्टर ब्लाइट ऑफ टी. सो एटलीस्ट एक एक डिजीज तो दोनों का बनता है बनना. देन सिगटोका डिजीज बताया था, फिजी आइलैंड्स में देयर वाज एन एपिडेमिक. Again, historically important disease. Powdery mildew of rose and its control. So it is rare that you find questions from floriculture crops, यानी flowers से बहुत ही rarely तुमको मिलेगा. रोज जो सबसे important है तो उधर से disease दे दिया. Otherwise you generally will not find questions from flowers. Okay, fruits, vegetables से ज़्यादा मिलते हैं. Describe in detail occurrence, symptom, etiology, epidemiology and management of apple scab disease. So apple scab का सब कुछ. Okay. Starting from scientific name, you have to write everything up to the chemical control. Describe the diagnostic symptom, etiology, management of rhizome rot of ginger. So spices में ginger is important. Pepper and ginger दोनों important है. So rhizome rot of ginger. Or bacterial wilt of solanaceous crop. So it will be, you will generally not find choice inside the question. तो यहाँ पर either rhizome rot or bacterial wilt of solanaceous crop, इन दोनों में से कोई एक ही लिखना है. So generally तुमको ये और वाला question नहीं मिलता है. It is very rare that you will find choice within the question. Okay, so either you can write about rhizome rot or wilt of solanaceous crop. What are the abiotic and biotic factors responsible for citrus decline? Okay, suggest remedial measures to combat the problem. Write the diagnostic symptom of potato spindle tuber virus. Potato spindle tuber virus, it makes the potatoes look spindle shaped. Okay, so mainly viruses they spread by कॉन्टैक्ट. ओके, सैप कॉन्टैक्ट से होता है. सो पोटैटोस में क्या है, ट्यूबर है. ट्यूबर्स विल बी यूज्ड फॉर प्लांटिंग. सो आइदर ट्यूबर्स आर कट इनटू स्मॉल पीसेस, देन दे आर प्लांटेड आफ्टर ट्रीटिंग विद सर्टेन केमिकल्स. ओके, सो व्हाइल कटिंग, इफ द नाइफ इज इन्फेक्टेड विद सैप फ्रॉम वायरस इन्फेक्टेड ट्यूबर एंड इफ यू कट ए हेल्दी ट्यूबर आफ्टर दैट, तो पहले तुमने एक डिजीज ट्यूबर को काटा जिससे वो सैप नाइफ पे लग गया, देन दैट सेम नाइफ विदाउट डिसइंफेक्टिंग इट, इफ यू यूज इट ऑन अनदर हेल्दी ट्यूबर, वायरस विल बी स्प्रेड टू इट. सो मेनली फिजिकल कॉन्टैक्ट से स्प्रेड होता है यहाँ पर. ओके, ब्रिंग आउट द डायग्नोस्टिक सिम्टम्स, पैथोजन, प्रीडिस्पोजिंग फैक्टर्स एंड मैनेजमेंट ऑफ लेट ब्लाइट ऑफ पोटैटो. अगेन आयरिश फेमाइन जो हुआ था, ओके, 1840s में. सो historical importance. Then we have general plant protection, mainly quarantine या legislative जो भी control method है उसके basis में क्या questions आए हैं previously. So what is plant quarantine? Because you cannot classify these questions into entomology or pathology. Okay, ये entomology का है, pathology का है, तुम classify नहीं कर सकते इसको. So what is plant quarantine? How does it regulate import and export of plant seed material? What is legislative control? Write various acts on pest control legislation applied in India. So DIPA 1914 में इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ था. देन 2004 में एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑर्डर पास हुआ था, प्लांट क्वारंटाइन ऑर्डर. देन 1968 का पेस्टिसाइड एक्ट है, इंसेक्टिसाइड एक्ट ऑफ 1968. Okay, so there are 3 legislations which are passed. Then suggests the measure to prevent spread of exotic pests and disease in a country. Obviously plant quarantine के बारे में. Define quarantine, explain plant quarantine regulation with respect to what disease of potato. So potato wart and banana bunchy top, for both of these we have internal quarantine. So generally जब क्वारंटाइन की बात करते हैं we talk about movement of material from one country to another country, but within the country also we have internal quarantine. So in case of banana bunchy top, plant materials, suckers or rhizome, okay, they are not allowed to be transported from southern states, जो तमिलनाडु, केरला, आंध्र प्रदेश, वहां से तुम्हारा गुजरात, महाराष्ट्र और असम उस तरफ तुम नहीं ले जा सकते. So there is internal quarantine even in case of what disease of potato, Synghytrium endobioticum causes what. So तुम्हारा जो दार्जिलिंग वो वाला रीजन है, potato materials from there they are not allowed to be transported to other parts of the country. So internal quarantine is there for certain pests within India also. So internal quarantine है तो ये again, so internal quarantine कौन से डिजीज का है वो भी इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि वो पर्टिकुलरली दिया है एग्जाम में. बायोलॉजिकल कंट्रोल ऑफ पीट लिखा है, पेस्ट एंड डिजीजेस, कॉमन क्वेश्चन है. बायोलॉजिकल कंट्रोल ऑफ पेस्ट एंड डिजीजेस 12.5 मार्क्स, जनरल क्वेश्चन दिया. देन प्लांट बायोसिक्योरिटी, व्हाट इज प्लांट बायोसिक्योरिटी, बोथ एंटोमोलॉजी एंड पैथोलॉजी वाइज. सो इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें आती हैं. यू हैव इंटरनल क्वारंटाइन, यू हैव एक्सटर्नल क्वारंटाइन, फाइटोसैनिटरी सर्टिफिकेट, डिसइंफेस्टेशन कैसे करते हैं, वो सारा प्लांट बायोसिक्योरिटी में. So this is about entomology and pathology. Sources में जब आते हो, when you come to sources, see, for pathology, this is the best material. So Angro का पैथोलॉजी 371 एंड 372 जो है, P8 पैथोलॉजी कोड लिखा होता है, PATH 371 ये फील्ड क्रॉप्स का है कोड नंबर, एंड 372 हॉर्टिकल्चर क्रॉप्स का है. ओके, सो दिस मटेरियल वाज प्रिपेयर्ड बाय डॉक्टर P. किशोर वर्मा. सो ही वाज असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर व्हेन आई वाज डूइंग ग्रेजुएशन. सो ही वाज वन ऑफ माय मेंटर्स. सो ही इज़ वेरी गुड. ओके, तो अभी एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर है, आई डोंट नो, अभी कांटेक्ट में नहीं है, बट ही इज़ द पर्सन हु हैज़ प्रिपेयर्ड, किशोर वर्मा, जिन्होंने ये मटेरियल बनाया है, एंड ही इज़ वन ऑफ द बेस्ट प्रोफेसर्स ऑफ पैथोलॉजी देयर. तो उनका बनाया हुआ मटेरियल है, पैथोलॉजी के लिए बेस्ट सोर्स है. ओके, सो गो फॉर दिस मटेरियल. ये PDF अवेलेबल है इंटरनेट पे. ओके, सो पैथोलॉजी एंग्रो मटेरियल ले लो. डिजीज के बारे में क्लियरली दिया हुआ, हाउ सेकेंडरी इन्फेक्शन हैपेंस, हाउ व्हाट इज द सोर्स ऑफ प्राइमरी इन्फेक्शन विथ सिम्टम्स, बहुत क्लीनली एक्सप्लेन किया है सारी चीज़ें. सो फॉर एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू दिस इज द बेस्ट मटेरियल. यू डोंट नीड टू गो थ्रू एनीथिंग एल्स. तो जनरल पैथोलॉजी के लिए थोड़ा सा अगर तुम्हारा जनरल पैथोलॉजी का अगर तुमको चाहिए तो एग्रियोस कर सकते हो, एग्रियोस से पढ़ लो, और यू कैन गो फॉर PD शर्मा. PD शर्मा का बुक एग्रियोस का ही कॉपी है, लेकिन PD शर्मा से भी ले सकते हो जनरल पैथोलॉजी वाला. ओके, फॉर डिजीजेस दिस इज द बेस्ट. देन फॉर एंटोमोलॉजी, एंटोमोलॉजी के लिए TNAU के वेबसाइट में जाओ, इंडिविजुअल पेस्ट का वहां से मटेरियल प्रिपेयर कर सकते हो. और DS रेड्डी का एक बुक आता है जनरल एंटोमोलॉजी के लिए, DS रेड्डी का बुक आता है फॉर JRF प्रिपरेशन फॉर MSc एंट्रेंस. ओके, स्टूडेंट्स पर्टिकुलरली रेफर टू दिस. ये बहुत पतला बुक है DS रेड्डी का, कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स के लिए है, मास्टर्स लेवल पे एंट्रेंस के लिए. तो DS रेड्डी का एक बुक आता है, देयर जनरल एंटोमोलॉजी पार्ट इज कवर्ड नाइसली. तो जनरल एंटोमोलॉजी का जो पार्ट है, बायोलॉजिकल कंट्रोल, फिजिकल कंट्रोल, वो यहाँ से पढ़ सकते हो. ओके, एंड फॉर पर्टिकुलर पेस्ट एंड डिजीज you can refer TNOE material. बुक्स जरूरत नहीं है, यू डोंट नीड टू परचेज stuff, सबको इंटरनेट पे है तो इंडिविजुअली वर्ड फाइल्स में कॉपी कर लो, वहां से बना लो TNOE से. ओके, सो दीज आर द बेस्ट सोर्सेस जहाँ से तुम इजीली एक नीट मटेरियल प्रिपेयर कर सकते हो फॉर रिविजन बिफोर द एग्जामिनेशन. रिमेंबर, इफ यू डोंट रिमेंबर, द मेन पॉइंट इज इफ यू डोंट रिमेंबर द साइंटिफिक नेम, डू नॉट अटेम्प्ट द क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट ही मत करो. अगर साइंटिफिक नेम याद नहीं है तो मार्क्स नहीं मिलेगा तुमको अच्छे से. आउट ऑफ 10 you will get only 4 even if you write everything. So scientific name is very important. So it is like giving your resume without your name. किसका resume है पता नहीं. So it is very important and it has to be correctly spelled also. Correct spelling के साथ तुमको scientific name लिखना पड़ेगा. Okay. So pathology, entomology, weightage is about 40 to 50 marks. But weightage about individual pests and disease is very less. So 40 marks का क्वेश्चन आ रहा है तो 10 marks का तुमको एक ही पेस्ट आएगा या एक डिजीज आएगा. रेस्ट 30 marks will be from general entomology and general pathology. So focus thoroughly on general entomology and general pathology, and when you come to crops, individual pests and diseases of crops, focus more on economically and historically important pests and diseases, right? And particularly on horticultural pests and diseases, horticultural crops का उसके ऊपर ज़्यादा फोकस करो, बिकॉज 4-5 साल से फॉर लास्ट 4 or 5 years दे आर गिविंग क्वेश्चंस मोर फ्रॉम हॉर्टिकल्चर पार्ट. Okay, so that was all from my side regarding plant protection syllabus. So thank you very much.